Orange Weekly, fans, brews, and Broncos news. Oh yeah, Broncos country, you missed us. You know you did. And we heard your pleas for us to come back for another season. The fan mail that y'all sent in was fantastic. But I mean, truckloads of it. So thank you.
I didn't get any fan mail, Kev. There's a weird bag that was on fire, but okay, go ahead.
Just stomp on it.
Yeah. Of course, that's how you put out a fire.
Kevin, it worked.
I'm fire aware, Kevin.
Well, you know, as we are starting this Broncos podcast for our 8th year, this is our, you know, sort of in between start, you know, unofficial start as we get some preseason practice ourselves. But you know, I was thinking about it as I was going through and I was looking at all of the different comments from the last preseason game. And I think a lot of people made a very good point, guys. We lost a preseason game. We blew a 10-point lead on the road and our season's over. You know, we might as well just chuck it now. Sean Payton's a bust. And I think we should just go ahead and cancel the season.
You're starting very positive with this new year. I love it.
No, I'm saying, come on, guys. We have a lot of good things to talk about. It's going to be fun.
We are not statistically eliminated from the playoffs.
Exactly.
True. That's true.
But
we can still have a winning record in the preseason. It could happen, guys.
Hey, we can only go up from here, right?
That's
true.
Yep, that's true.
Well,
that's true.
We got David, John, and Spotty here. They're going to be joining me tonight with some awesome Broncos conversations. And of course, as always, we are looking for your comments as well, because we want to hear what you all have to say about the Broncos and everything the team has going on as we not only reflect on last week's game against Cardinals, but we get ready for this next week's game against the 49ers as well. Another road game for the team there. So, David, let's go ahead and start with you, man. Give you a chance to kind of just, you know, hey, how you doing? And then what you got going on in terms of what you think the Broncos are doing so far.
Well, I'm good, Kev. It's another year for Team Puffball to continue its dominance over Team Visor. I'm excited for that. My thoughts on the preseason game as we get into this season is just, there was lots of encouraging stuff. You can see what the Sean Payton offense is going to be with this personnel a little bit. Obviously we didn't see all of the playbook. We saw barely any of it, I'm sure. But, a mix of zone and power running. They're going to try and run the football a lot. They're going to try and use a lot of different running backs. And at least we saw some good things out of McLaughlin. I think Batty also showed, it's going to be tough. He's so small, but we'll get into all that. The offensive line, there's concerns, but how much of it can you really chalk up to they're not playing well versus there's a lot of mitigating factors, and we'll get into all that as well. It's just, it's early days yet. It was really interesting to see them back in game action, and lots to dissect from it. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I mean, hey, initially first drive looked like a combination of all the last 6-7 years. It was awful. We all had the same reaction. We're like, oh shit, here we go again. I was pretty negative for that first half until we scored. Even when we scored the touchdown, at that point, you're going up against second stringers, third stringers on the other team. Like, I was pretty negative until I watched the replay again today. And actually, aside from the first drive, was terrible. Quick three and out, awful. But there were some highlights in those other 2 or 3 other drives that I think I was just too negative in the moment watching it live. So I think we saw flashes of what this offense could be, which is good. Hey, look, they're all still learning it. It's preseason. And we're going to dive into it for the next hour. So I want to give you all my thoughts in the first 5 minutes.
Sweet. No, Spotty, what you got, man?
Like John said, it was much of the same, and I get it. As a fan, all the years that we've watched this stuff, I want to see us go out and score on every drive. But as we know about preseason, the defense is always going to look good early, and the offense is always going to take time to adjust, especially when you got a new OC, a new head coach. Luckily, though, I'll say that Vance Joseph coming in and implementing the exact same defense is definitely going to look like a boon for us. So take the positive out of that.
All right.
But, you
Quick
know,
hit right there, Spotty.
hey,
It's good. If the defense is solid, we don't have to worry about the season. Week one of the preseason.
Hey, they said last year if the Broncos would have scored, 6 more points last year, we would have been a 10-win team instead of a 4 or a 5.
Yeah.
You are correct. Yes.
Yeah. You think Sean Payton, Hall of Fame coach Sean Payton, can get this team 6 more points?
We gave a first-round draft pick for him, so sure shit should.
Yeah, we also gave a couple for Russell Wilson, if you remember.
Listen, we can count all the first-round draft picks that we don't have now, and because it's going to take a while though. So we only have we only have an hour show, guys. We gotta
I've never been more excited for a draft for a season that hasn't started yet.
Right.
All I have to say about this, and now as I sit back, we could have wasted those first-round draft picks, like I don't know, the Niners team that we're playing next week. So,
shots fired.
Yikes, boy, we're just getting right after Trey Lance, just catching strays tonight.
Love to see that.
Okay.
Hey, this is just what it feels like to be a Rams fan when it comes to the draft. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Fuck them picks.
F them picks.
You don't need them. You don't need them.
I love it. Look, there was a lot of good things, and here's what I need to say to Broncos country. Okay,
say it, Kev.
For the love of God,
loud and proud.
Calm down. Okay, I would much rather the team learn the expectations from the coach and everyone. Now, what happens after you lose? Than after, week 1 or sometime in the season, right? I'd rather them lose this game, the next game, and get some of those under their belts and see what Coach Payton's going to do to help turn that around, right? Because you heard it in his post game. They asked him, like, how did you address the team about this? And the quote he said was perfect, basically like that we're not going to tolerate this, period at the end. But then for people to be just all over the place, like we blew a 10. I love it when we blow a 10-point lead. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I can't believe now what I can appreciate are the people who are like, hey, how important is it, for us to win or lose a preseason game? Okay, clearly you want to learn. Let me help you out, right? So for maybe anybody who's watching or now or later, the take on this for me anyway, like I kind of said, I'd rather, especially right now, this team lose now rather than win all 3 preseason games thinking they're doing really well, going into week 1, and then learn that there's still a lot that they need to work on and they're not even close to being ready to compete. Okay. And then we have to have the conversation about losing will not be tolerated. I'd rather have that conversation now. Also, again, for people who maybe don't really watch preseason or don't, understand what we're really looking at, again, it's very evaluation based. It's very basic in terms of the defense, being a very vanilla defense across the board. We're not going to do anything to give anything away. Offense, probably going to call things that you're not really going to necessarily do during the season either, because you're trying to test things out, right? So I'm just saying to Broncos country, like, if you're one of those people that are upset that we lost, don't be, okay? Like, relax.
Solid delivery.
Calm down. I wanted to say something else, but I need to calm down myself. I'm going to set the example.
You're running hot.
It's okay. I was running hot, but now I'm good. And it's good because I wanted to get that out of my system before our very special guest joins us here.
Oh no,
he's sitting in the green room right now.
If it is who I think it is,
the owners of the show,
it's a man who's got some experience with running hot.
Ooh, yes, in multiple ways. So for those of you who are watching and want to know who we're talking about, you're gonna have to wait. But so let's delve into this game a little bit more, guys. And Spotty, since I know you don't have too much time left, to start with you. Kind of go more specifics with some of the things that you saw that you were maybe concerned with, that you thought we were maybe doing better on, and it looked like, oh, that's not what I heard at all, or anything like that.
Get negative while you're in Vegas before you
well,
have to go to dinner.
You know, it's exactly where I'm going to start is the fact that we put in so much money into the offensive line, and the amount of pressures. I mean, it came out afterwards. Broncos quarterbacks were pressured more than any other team in the first preseason game. You know, take that for what it's worth. And then my favorite, Garrett Bowles, was absolutely in season form, allowing, I don't know what this guy's name is. I'm pretty sure it looked like some kind of garlic was his last name or something. Eat him alive on the outside. Like, absolutely someone who's probably never going to make the team. Now, I get it. This is one of those things, kind of like how Kev Dan Broncos fans, you got to take it easy. You got to relax. He did come off of injury, but we paid Garrett Bowles to be a integral part of our team. And right now it looks like he's going to have to hold people again to make sure they stop. But again, we're installing so much more into our offense right now. I get it. It's going to take the time for the offense to, really pick up. I'll be honest, that's really the only spot that I had like an issue with. Everything else, we're not going to, you don't do run the football during, preseason. So, but still, when we were running the football, we were running it hard. But again, if we're going to spend all the kind of money that we did for offensive line, and that's been our issue for, I don't actually remember how long. It feels like we've been throwing out couch cushions to block our quarterbacks for at least a decade at this point. That's only going to get better. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna take a deep breath. Hopefully by week 1, when we're playing the Raiders in Vegas, that'll be improving.
Nah, they're in Denver week 1.
Right. That's what I meant.
Yes.
David will still be in Vegas.
You just have Vegas on the line.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, snap.
There he is.
Look at
Welcome.
that.
Welcome back.
With his hat.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I was right on time, right? Just barely met the threshold
It's
of being on time.
preseason for us too. So
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know that 13 minutes is on time in the window. I think you get like 5 minutes to say that you're on time still, and then after.
Yeah, what's
is
that
that-
rule when you're in
Yeah.
class and you're waiting for the teacher? Like the
Yeah.
law
Yeah, it's
is
50
after 10 minutes.
Yeah, right. That's.
I thought it was
turns out-
15.
you can
I thought it was 15.
No, it is
leave.
15.
Yeah.
Kevin just left after 5. That was.
I didn't show up at all.
Kevin was not a good student.
No,
Are you kidding me? These guys know I was a goody two shoes.
he's not a goody
anyway.
tall.
I know. We've talked about. I know the
Oh.
fans, and I know the people watching this podcast love talking about Kevin's high school days. It's just
Yes.
a riveting time.
Yeah. He was no taller in high school than he is now. So,
But he was in more marching bands than he is today.
Hey, so
So,
back in high school, okay?
That's
extra high steps.
is that progress or decline? I don't know.
yeah. Well, there's a point.
You know what? This is a good time, really quickly, to announce. Look, I'm a surprise announcement for everyone here.
thought the intro
For
was
those who
a
are
surprise.
following, I have. Originally, I was on Team Puffball, right? I thought it was a good organization. David was very welcoming at first, but then he just got too mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
And
I
I
took
said,
advantage.
screw you. And I went and I joined Team Visor. Okay. I'm still 100% against Team Puffball. Okay. But Jared, I would like to propose an alliance with you as
Oh.
I form an equally and just as good,
Unholy alliance.
awesome Team
Doubt
Foamhead.
this.
Okay.
Wow,
So here's your chance
that's something.
to form an alliance with Team Foamhead. Huh?
So I'm gonna have to think about this and get with my people, but my initial reaction is absolutely not. But you know what? Let me talk to my people.
Okay.
See what
okay.
happens.
No,
Yeah,
no,
there's
okay.
things that could happen.
Okay.
That
Quick counter
No, I see how it
proposal
is.
here.
I have a lot of thoughts about what's going on right now.
Sure. Jared, why don't Team Puffball and Team Golf Hat have a conversation while leaving Team Visor off to the side? I think we can come to some sort of something.
I'm not on Team Visor anymore.
No,
I need to be
no.
involved in these.
I just like
these
Team
talks.
Golf Hat so much.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm
Anyway.
wearing this for a reason.
welcome
All right, boys.
welcome to the show.
Wait. Is Kevin off Team Visor?
Oh,
Yeah.
Spotty, hold on. It looks like
Spotty's
Spotty's got to
gotta
take
go.
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Any
leave.
last
Hit the
words?
blackjack table.
I'm a
Final
craps
thoughts.
guy, but I'm probably going to throw 50 on red because I'm not going to do black here in Vegas. So talk to you guys later.
Thanks for joining, Spotty.
Thanks, Spotty.
Thanks, buddies.
Well, Jared, welcome to the show, man. Yeah, so kind of just talking about the game, man, from what you saw or read or anything like that. What are some of your takes early on, man?
Yeah, so Spotty had to go, but I did want to mention because I've been listening to his about Garrett Bowles, and yeah, that sucks. Here's the weird part about Garrett Bowles that's hard for me is that he had a rough season. And then he had a really, really good season. He had a crazy good season. Then he got injured. Now he's coming back off that injury.
I feel like you're missing a few seasons.
He had a couple early rough seasons, but let's be honest, he was one of the best in his position for a year, and then he got injured. Kind of
very good. Yes.
Yeah, but it's the most recent one, and then now he comes back, and all of a sudden we're seeing kind of a rough. Because last year was when he got injured, and he was doing really well. So I don't know. I think
he was. I don't know if he was doing well last year before he got injured. I think he was degressing a little bit. I wish Spotty was here because he has a lot of hot takes on what you just said.
Yeah, that's why I purposely meant to do that after he left. But honestly, like it's weird for me. I want to see obviously the Garrett Bowles of like the top performer, and maybe shaking off a little rust, getting into the new system, like Spotty said. But we'll see what happens. It was kind of rough seeing that. And he was getting bullied by someone who nobody knew their name. It was crazy.
Jeez.
You can see that for a lot of the offensive line, though, in that game.
This is the thing, though, guys. The 49ers don't have players whose names you've never heard of. 49ers have guys who played in last year's NFC Championship game that are going to be coming up against this Broncos offensive line. And that's going to be you want to see what they can do on like an actual field that is in playing condition. So do I, because that Arizona field wasn't. But so that excuse is going to be gone now. What do you got?
Yeah, going into that game, the Cardinals' defensive line and putting pressure on the quarterback was very heavily questioned whether they could do anything. And then we made them, as we have done in recent seasons, we have made certain aspects of certain teams that are supposed to be bad look very good. And it is so frustrating. It's preseason, so
it's preseason.
Can't get worked up too much, but it's so easy to.
I forgot what it said, but I said something during the game along the lines of like, it's really sad when you're watching like the local broadcast, and even the local guys are like, man, we really thought our defensive line was going to be the downfall, but look how great they're doing. You hate seeing that from the other team. You hate hearing that.
Oh yeah. Jared, I had the local broadcast too, and it was just like, wow, this team's gonna be a lot better than we thought they were in general. Yeah. Man, here we go.
Oh, Jorge, we've all been there, pal. Oh, have we all been there?
If I had adopted this philosophy, I would have saved so much money on Bronco stuff over the last 7 years. So much money. But just like you, man, I would not have been able to keep myself from buying.
No, I need it. Gives it to me.
Exactly.
Has the Mental Health Association defined what we have being Broncos fans in this current environment that we've been in for the last 7 years? Like
some sort of post-traumatic disorder.
Yeah.
Except the trauma is ongoing. So
sort of like,
there's some like Stockholm syndrome-ish to it.
Okay.
Yeah. We enjoy the pain.
Sorry, we went dark there for a second, but it's preseason, so there's nothing but excitement, and yes, we lost. Look, they scored 15 points in the fourth quarter. Who is playing in the fourth quarter? I'm not worried about the loss.
Ben DiNucci still killing it.
Yeah. And
I don't care about the loss. I cared more about when the first team was on the field, and I wish we could have seen honestly more of the Cardinals first team unit on the field as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
When we started picking it up was backups at that point. They put the backups in on the second drive.
Well, again, we should be careful what we wish for because we've got a San Francisco team coming up that, because it's the second preseason game, probably will play their starters a lot more because I feel like the second preseason game is now what the third preseason game used to be. And so we might see the starters play into like the entire second half. So yeah, we should see some pretty big names out there. I don't know if we'll see Nick Bosa or not, but we could.
But
even for just a little bit, that could wreck
one
us,
person, one person I'm hearing that we will see this week is Javonte Williams, and I am one person who is very, very excited for that.
Intrigued.
Now, on par with that,
even
did P. Ryan's running remind you of Javonte's from even like last year, a couple years ago? I was really impressed with
there was some
the
tackle
drive,
breaking skills,
the absolute hunger he was showing, and in a preseason game too.
Very hard running.
He was like that really stood out to me.
I'll tell you, I thought they had all these running backs running hard, and you saw it with McLaughlin in the second half. You even saw it with Tyler Batty. I don't really know how to.
Batty, I think
Batty just sounds more fun to say.
He's a little guy, and you can see that the speed is there, but sometimes he gets knocked over real easy. But all of them really, you could see that effort is there. You can see that they're well coached in that running game,
and that makes me feel I am very excited to see Javonte out there this week, because that was one concern I had before he got injured last year, was he didn't look completely the same. He was good. He just wasn't as good as his rookie year, right? And he got injured.
And you're right, Kev. But to go back to what you guys were talking about, the Garrett Bowles conversation, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's just you were saying it, Kev. I think everybody, or Jared maybe said it. I think everybody regressed last year, and part of it is on them, on the players, and part of it is on I think what Sean Payton correctly called one of the worst coaching jobs in NFL history. But so how much of that I'm so, and back to your point, and back to you, Kev, just really excited to see Javonte Williams in a good coaching system.
Yeah, because if he can run a little bit better than he did last year, which is still maybe 80% of his rookie year, combine that with what we saw from P. Ryan alone, those two, like that looks like a running game I haven't seen on the Broncos in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that
Jared, you're been quiet, man. I want to hear what you think, dude. Jared.
No, I'm there. No, John, what do you got? You were saying something about the two, the
Kevin
double-headed.
would politely ask for you to speak now.
No, you definitely completely just stonewalled John. I love it. I think Javonte is going to be coming back. You always have that worry though, especially coming off. It was ACL, right, for Javonte?
I mean, it was 2.
Yeah,
it was 2. It was ACL, MCL, right?
Yeah. Yep. So coming off of those types of injuries, we're probably not going to see 100%. Specifically, probably not for the first couple weeks, even into the regular season. We're probably not going to see 100% Javonte until he gets comfortable in his own head that his body is ready, and the timeline being moved up because he's ready, and the timeline, all the work he's been doing, which is great. But there is that level. You're probably going to see him in one drive against San Francisco. You're not going to see him very much. He's going to be on a pitch count. And even into the season, depending on how they're feeling about him, you might not see him that often. And Perrine might be our guy until we feel 100% confident that he's going to be able to go out there and give it his all. And I again, trust his coaching staff that they're not going to put him out there in a situation where he's only running 80% because of the mental issue. It's hard. Mentally, it's hard to go out there after having that serious of an injury. And especially as a running back. So I'm just a little, I want to see it, and I want to see him come back 100%, but that's in the back of my mind. I'm like, I really also just want him to be healthy.
Yeah. Yep. We want him for the long term. Kevin, can I speak now? Sorry. I couldn't help myself. That came out of nowhere too. I didn't even have.
Oh boy!
Get the break. You complain enough.
The floor is yours. The stage is yours.
Greasy wheel.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease. There you go. The greasy wheel. That doesn't make sense. Anyways. Thank you, Kevin. It's an honor.
He forgot what he was going to say.
Yeah.
I know.
You killed him.
It is shocking that Javonte Williams is even healthy and potentially playing in a second week preseason game with the injury that he had. Like, I have been so skeptical of this, but they've been saying all along he's going to be ready. He's going to be ready. He finally came out and said he was going to be ready, and here we are. And they're saying he's going to play. So, he was first public training camp that was open. He was out there. He was running drills. He wasn't. I mean, it was padless, so they weren't doing tackles or anything like that. But still, he was out there. So I'm excited to see what he does. I do agree with. I believe it was Jared. You've switched the screen around, Kevin, so my brain just broke. But I kind of agree with the idea of the first few games of the season. I was worried that P. Ryan was just going to carry the load for all those games with the depth that we have at running back. We don't have depth. Plain and simple. It's those top two guys, and that's it. But I think it may be, more of a committee for those first few games specifically, where maybe it's 50-50, and then Javonte. I mean, that's best case. I mean, that's an amazing scenario a year ago.
Yeah.
Or not a year ago, but when he got hurt, week, I think 4 last year. So that's a fantastic situation to be in with our. And then the depth, just since we're talking about running backs, Jaleel McLaughlin, I think he might be the next undrafted rookie to make the team because he's hungry, not a lot of depth. Like I've said, I think for the 5th time in the last 2 minutes. So
gonna get you a depth counter.
Depth alone, 6. He has a good chance because he looked solid in that game at the end of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I'm probably jumping ahead because I wasn't there to figure out how we're organizing the show yet. So
we didn't figure anything out, Jared. It's preseason for us too. If Kevin didn't make that clear.
Yeah. So I'm jumping to like what I'm looking forward to next. I'm interested to see guys like McLaughlin get reps with the first team. I'm interested to see what this coaching staff does. See if they put some of these guys that are maybe on that cutoff list with the first team to see what they can do with the first team as opposed to the rest. I'm interested to see that.
Do you think they're going to do that?
I think
that doesn't seem
I think with the running backs, I think it's definitely possible because the running backs is probably one of the up in the air depth 7 that we need to worry about. That we need to worry about who's gonna be that guy, and we have a couple guys back there that are gonna have to battle it out. And really, what it comes down to is how do they play with the first team?
Well, and especially like you were saying, John, if Williams only plays a series, which I think is probably perfectly within the realm of possibility, I would not be surprised at all to see Jaleel McLaughlin go in there next, or Tyler Batty, as opposed to Pirine, because I think they know what kind of commodity they have in Pirine. We might be wrong, but I think Jared might be right on about this one. They might decide to put those guys in after Williams to see what they do against a first team defense.
Yeah. To the point about Pirine though, like I was skeptical when we got him, but when I started looking through like his NFL career, like this is who this guy has been. Like, he has a solid backup for freaking years.
Did you see him pass protect?
Under the radar for everybody, I think.
Yeah. Did you see him pass protect? He was great. Yeah, he's playing better than most of the offensive linemen out there.
Yeah.
Easily.
And not for was it Cincinnati or what was I forget what team he was on, and the starter got hurt. He ends up coming in and having a great season. Like he ended up being like a really good running back as a backup after the injury. So
Cincinnati, Joe Mixon goes down for 3 games. He had 400 yards in 3 games as their bell cow running back. And I only know this because I took a deep dive in running backs and then didn't post a video on it.
Good,
but his career average is over 4 yards a carry at running back. Like I don't know. Like I don't know why this guy has just been a kind of this career backup. I kind of don't get it.
I mean, if it led him to coming to us, like you said, flying under the radar, and now he knows like this is his chance that, if God forbid something happens and he has to step into the starter role over Javonte, he knows this is his chance. And I saw it. I saw in that first preseason game, he is hungry for it, right? And if he takes that into the regular season, holy crap, like we're going to have a fantastic run game, which is only going to help out the offense even more. So.
But I don't even think that's like uncharacteristic. I don't think he was trying to play up to the news. I think that's just him, and that's how he's played. And like, I don't know, maybe other fans around the NFL that have got to watch him to play as their number 2 running back are like, yeah, he's our solid number 2. Like he's just a good running back.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
So,
are we gonna address the elephant in the room?
Do it.
Russell Wilson.
Don't call David an elephant.
That
is rude.
Wow.
Maybe 50 pounds ago I would have,
I
but
didn't
David is
think-
looking sexy and slim right now. Can
Thank
you give
you,
him that?
Jared. I think
devolved quickly.
you're the only one who went there, John, and I think that says a lot about you. And I'm making a note. And we're gonna...
Okay, because I couldn't.
Mhm.
Okay, you know, it would have been. If we can cut this and I can redo it.
I had several greasy wheel comments about your hair that I just sidestepped while you were having that whole fiasco. But I'm taking a note. I'm taking a note. Okay.
Hey, can we redo this? Like, cut the last 30 seconds and
no, this
You want me
is
to start
live.
over?
Cut that.
Jared, Kate, and go. Jared, you don't need
So
to talk about yourself like an elephant, all right?
It's not nice,
that's
Jared. That's
whoa!
horrible.
This escalated
Nailed
quickly.
it.
This
Nailed
change. I've been nothing but nice to everybody.
Not that large, and you should talk about Jared.
What a joke.
That was close to
Anyone
home.
watching can use this at any time.
Anyways,
No
Russell
copyright
Wilson.
infringements here.
Yes.
Russell
Go ahead,
Wilson.
Jared.
Yes, he was running for his life, and he had somebody. He was throwing some darts out there. The one thing that I'll say of like these first two drives, I was super disappointed. Wasn't really finding open guys. Again, preseason, trying to get it with the team
New
against
system.
another team. New system. But when he did deliver the ball, those things were a fucking missile.
Yes.
Like I was watching the speed of that ball going in, like getting delivered, and I was like, "There's no way no one's stopping that if the guy's relatively open." So and you guys all know I've been on Wilson's case for all last year, but I'm kind of excited to see that. I'm excited to see his arm strength be just like tremendous, and being able to and going back to Judy after the drop for the touchdown was huge. Shows a lot of maturity.
Leadership, everything.
I do kind of like that. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
I have to agree. I don't like that thing in the preseason where the guy comes out and he's like, "I'm in the best shape of my life," and Russell Wilson.
We talked about it. I hate that shit.
Yeah. So Russell Wilson didn't really do that. He did the workout video, but he never came out and said, "I'm feeling better than I ever have."
Other people did.
Right. Yeah, other people came out and
yeah.
said he's in great shape this year, and I was like, "All right, great. We'll see what that translates to on the field." Skepticism. But yeah, I think Jared's right. That ball was coming out fast. It came out with velocity, and he wasn't throwing like a potato with arms for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Was he last year?
He was running
There was
with
times.
arms.
Yeah.
Potato Head?
Yeah.
Like I'm picturing Mr. Potato Head out there.
And it was kind
Yeah,
of. Go ahead.
On the times like last year, on the times he would deliver a bullet, it would be nowhere near the guy he was aiming for. So on this one, like you saw some of these deliveries, and they were right on spot, super fast, and you could tell. For me, that this is just from what I see, that's a system thing. He's confident that the guy's going to be there, the guy's going to be open because he's got his reads. As soon as he gets to his second read, that read's open. He's delivering a strike as opposed to having to read the whole field. And he's actually got 1, 2, 3 reads, and he can be able to deliver the ball. That's a huge system thing. That's a huge part of that. What's going to come, and I think that's going to just grow over time as we get into the season.
Well, and it's a much more timing-based offense, too, with Sean Payton. It's much more of a, this is your window, this is your read, this is when he's going to be open, this is when you throw the ball. And it's going to be, that's never really been what Russell Wilson has done. He's just been more of an improvising quarterback his whole life who plays in his own kind of system. So it's been really, that was always kind of the question with Sean Payton was it going to work with these two specifically? Was Russell Wilson going to take to that system? But it was kind of like listening to the practice reports throughout the course of the first 2 quarters. Like it started rough. The offense kind of slowly got their feet under them a little bit more. Yeah. And by the end, they were actually able to score a touchdown. So
that's a really good observation. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's actually, yeah. But
good job, David.
Once they, I was just,
thank you, John. You're very complimentary this evening. I'm
impressed with how
you're fantastic. You know what? All of you guys are fantastic.
Oh my God!
I love
you, John.
I love you guys. I'm so happy we're back. Football's
we
back.
have 5 months of this.
There are no more weeks without.
I was going to trying to deliver compliments, and you guys are just okay.
We can all deliver compliments to each other, Kevin.
Yeah, that's what we're all doing, Kevin.
We're doing it now. Come hug us. Come hug.
I think I'm making fun of you. I'm agreeing.
Yes.
I know that's rare.
We're all having a great
Anyway,
You're
Hey,
laughing.
Kev,
I don't
can
know
John
what
speak now?
I don't know. I said once next one, I think, and then we died. We
first
killed his point. I think.
So this isn't even the
Yo,
official
James,
start for our year.
You've gone too far.
I don't even know when our official start. When's our official start?
After,
We've been live for 35 minutes.
or the Tuesday before the
We've been-
first regular
I
season.
mean, this
game.
is all official. It's all live. Like, there's
It's
nothing
all on the
we're not
record.
coming back from that. Yeah.
Let's throw it.
Yeah,
to
but if
some
I make a
questions,
mistake, I feel
guys.
less guilty about it because it's preseason practice.
Yeah,
Like, I'm like, whatever.
he's
so.
boy. It's so easy to work for this guy.
I had some really good thoughts, and I feel like Kevin killed them.
Well,
Are
they gone?
I had some thoughts and I forgot what they were too. So,
All right.
That's
Well,
the meds, Kevin. That's the drugs.
it's
Here's
something. I'll tell you what.
here's what I propose, fellas.
The bourbon.
Let's throw it to some comments because we've got some good
Yes,
ones here.
Yes.
We do.
And then we can circle back, John, to
my
you.
my thoughts will come back to me.
If they do-
you're making some great ideas, David.
You're
David
on.
of all people. Wow, comment.
It's
Season 8. I see
preseason.
David's season.
I'm peaking.
I see
I'm peaking.
David's season. Season
I'm
8.
peaking right now. That's it. It's all downhill from here, baby.
He peaked in preseason.
I'm peaking in preseason.
Sean, I did
Now-
not give you permission to talk. Shut
Yeah.
up. Sean, your comment here. Then we talk about Dulcich's TE2. Does look good. So what do you guys think there? I mean, we got some real good options there at tight end, each with a different combination of skills, I think.
Yeah, but it's another coaching thing. It's Peyton saying the more complete player who can do more on this team to help right now is going to play. And that's Troutman because he can block and he can run routes. And Dulcich runs routes really well, but he's not the blocker yet.
Yeah.
So that's who's going to start.
Yeah, Dulcich is going to be in this system, kind of like a run first kind of thought process. Dulcich is just going to be another heavy slot receiver.
Yeah.
He's just going to be a bigger slot receiver that we're going to throw in on throw downs or, maybe as a distraction on certain plays. But yeah, I agree. I think that the starter, right, depending on what we're coming out for, it is kind of like, I also hate the word starter just because like that's the person that plays the first down doesn't mean he's the starter, right? It just depends on the situation. So and who we're playing and what defense we're playing and what our game plan is. But yeah, I agree. I think Troutman did a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, Troutman kind of dropped a pass on the first play of the game. It was behind him, so we can put some weight on Russell Wilson, but it seemed catchable if you're a good wide receiver. Anyway, tight end. I don't see a single pass to Dulcich in this game.
I don't think he got a pass.
Not even thrown to him. Not even targeted once.
No,
Kind of
I don't think
weird. I didn't even realize. I'm just shocked to see that.
Apparently he had a big play in the offense with the offense today in practice.
Yeah, I mean, I know in practice he's been doing fine. I was kind of like even seeing if he was injured for the game for some reason, but I'm not worried about the depth chart right now. It's preseason game 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed that
Yeah,
comment.
at
It's
this
about
point,
me.
our focus-
I'm sorry,
Our focus at this point is who's making the 73. Like,
Right.
who's making the.
I'm not worried about the depth chart.
That. I think
No.
I think this year is the first year that they just go from 90 straight to 53. I think they do all of their cuts.
right.
Yeah, I don't think they do the staged cut down anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Because
gonna be
the
rough.
cuts would have happened yesterday. By yesterday, I believe, if they were going to do that, and there weren't any. So.
Interesting. Yeah, so
Yeah.
at this point, we're looking for the 53-man roster.
Right.
And what this is all about. Like, those two guys are going to be on the team. Are obviously, as Broncos fans, as terrible as we were last year, we want to see with the new system, like, our starters play. But really, like, the point of this whole preseason is to try to figure out who's going to be on our 53-man.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of that, let's look at some names. Who do you guys have? So first off, in the comments for everybody watching, who do you have as somebody who might be on the bubble of making the team or not? But you guys start with this one. Sean's question: Turner Yell, is he going to make it or not?
Real quick before I pivot to Turner Yell, I had a shiver run up my spine thinking about this team running 2 tight end sets with Adam Troutman and Chris Manhertz and just running the football out of that formation. Ooh, on the goal line, give me all of that. Anyway, shivers, literal shivers. Now back to Turner Yell. I mean, he's going to get his opportunities in practice now because PJ Locke went down with an injury today. in practice that was apparently kind of ugly. He got carted off. He couldn't put any weight on the leg. The good news is Sean Payton said he was going to be fine, quote unquote, which means nothing. But on the other hand,
yeah, we'll see what the medical people say.
Well, yeah, but at least if Sean Payton hasn't had a habit yet of making serious injuries into nothing by saying he's going to be fine, and then it comes out the next day that he's out for the season. He usually comes up and says he's hurt. Either way, Turner Yell's going to get some elevated reps, I think, because of that injuries in practice at the least. And I think he played well in that preseason game, so it's going to this is his chance, I think.
Yeah.
If Turner, if he makes the team, it's going to be as a special teams guy. You don't carry more than 2 strong safeties. And that's really what it's going to come down to. Like, he's going to make the team as a special teams guy, and he's going to prove it on the defense as a depth guy. But he's got to prove it on special teams, and that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, I think he's going to make my guess is he's going to make the team. Sean Payton historically, and he's an offensive guy, not defensive, so I'm guessing these came from the defense coordinator in the past. But historically, carries about 5 to 6 safeties on his roster, which seems very high to me. But needing depth at the secondary position is important. So him being a draft pick, in the last year, I think in like 4th, 5th round, I'd say he probably has a good chance of making the team. And you're right, Jared. Special teams is going to be huge for a guy like him. I'm not sure where the question came from because I was not expecting to talk about Turner Yell in this episode of Orange Weekly, Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS.
Orange Weekly Broadcast Network.
I think he will make the team to answer the question.
There it is.
That's the answer. Kevin, thoughts on Turner Yell?
No, I'm not going to repeat everything you just said. I've kind of been looking over the list of some other names. One that I was kind of interested in looking at is Kendall Hinton. Do you think he's going to find a spot on this roster, or is he going to make it to the practice squad?
No, he makes the wide receiver room.
Oh, you think so?
Who?
That's a surefire answer from Jared.
Over Callaway, or Jalen Virgil?
No, I mean, let's see. You got Brandon Johnson, Humphrey, Montreal Washington's been kind of one of those guys that we were hoping to make the team. But outside of that, Jalen Virgil,
probably not. You're right about that.
Humphrey, maybe Brandon Johnson, even I mean, this room is not as deep as it has been in the past, right? With the unfortunate losses.
I disagree completely.
Get it, John.
Who do you, outside of our top 3? Who are our depth?
Outside of our top, who's your top 3?
Sutton, Mims, and Judy.
Okay, well, so KJ Hamler, we don't care about anymore. Isn't he gonna be back for week 1?
No longer on the. I don't think.
Yeah.
So.
Did they ever actually? I don't think they ever signed KJ Hamler back. Did they?
Yeah, I don't think he's currently on the roster. John,
you just got
Deshaun
Hamilton.
How many times are we gonna cut out John's comments today?
Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
You had me second guessing everything I know and have learned in the past.
I should have freaking rolled with it. Damn it! I should have rolled with it.
I was waiting for David too. David's usually the quick fire, the Deshaun Hamilton on me. I can't believe you didn't Deshaun Hamilton him.
No, I was ready, but it was John that got Hamilton this time.
Oh yeah, he's so good.
Don't get me, I wish Hamler was
Sad
still on
thing
the
is,
team.
I was
Obviously,
also like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah,
I do. I wish Hamler was on the team because I really liked him. And I think he would be a good.
This is breaking news. They're gonna bring him back. He's gonna get healthy. They're gonna bring him back.
So I think Callaway is a lock. I think Callaway's making the team.
So?
Yeah, absolutely, I do. Hinton, oof. I think Johnson makes the team. And then it's between
Washington probably.
Well, so if Montreal Washington makes the team, you think they'd keep 7 receivers? Because that's 6 right there, baby.
No, they're not keeping 7.
You think they're keeping
think
7?
So?
No, I don't think they're keeping 7. Hell, we'll see.
Keep 7.
Sean Payton's never kept 7 receivers on his starting day roster.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a lot for him.
That's
many.
6.
That's many.
Sometimes he's kept 5. So I don't think it's happening with this group. But all I'm trying to say is that we have a ton of very quality wide receivers behind our top 3. not 4, which is what I was about to say.
I didn't say quality. I didn't say they weren't quality. I'm just saying in the past few years, we've had very, very deep wide receiver rooms, and this one's not very deep. Like we're talking about guys like
think it's
Hinton,
just
who was
as
an
deep as
on and
last
off
year.
cut.
How's it less deep than last year? Take out KJ Hamler and replace him with Mims, and we're in the exact same position we were a year ago.
Deshaun Hamilton, right? Yeah.
But Deshaun Hamilton was like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
pal.
God damn it!
It's
I
been
thought we were
so
over
long.
this.
It's been so long. Oh,
He couldn't
pal.
help himself.
I love that we've been around long enough that we have running
Google
over
it.
multiple years.
Google it.
Google, yeah. Where is Deshaun Hamilton now?
Ask Jeeves.
Oh, I've missed you guys. Okay.
Okay.
So starting to look at wrapping up here. Before we get in the last,
Kevin's like,
10-ish,
we're devolving fast.
10-ish minutes or so.
Yeah,
I want to
no.
make sure I get the announcements out of the way, guys. You've been seeing the scroll across the bottom of the screen here for the entire show. If you want to help us out, David just bought a pet gerbil. He named him Frank. He's not doing very well. If you want to send him $5, you can help out that way. If you don't want to help out with any money, you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is below there. We post daily content, funny videos, news, clips from the shows, stuff like that. So if you guys want to do that and help us out, really be very appreciated if you could go do that for us.
Kevin, it feels really unethical to lie to people, and I want to set the record straight. It's a hamster?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And
Frank, right? I got the name right?
Frank, and yes, he's very sick.
He's very sick. Oh, sorry. Maybe $10.
You need $5.
I need multiple $5, John. Yeah, I need some.
We are back, guys. This is our first Tuesday back. So you can
Like how no one said they'll give you $5.
No,
it's
we're
that
just
you
gonna
need it.
move on.
Sure.
We're just gonna be like, yeah, maybe we should go, subscribe to the YouTube because it's not money.
It's
But
true.
we are back
Free.
every Tuesday. Once we get closer to the start of the season, we'll give you an idea of when that's actually going to start. But I think it's the week before the first regular season game. We'll start ramping up all of our other content to include the pregame podcast, postgame podcast. We got the Monday night shows to include Monday Night Orange Weekly After Dark. And we got the pregame show. We also got Halftime Hash. Guys, we got it all for you. And now we're doing daily videos on YouTube for you. Will you just subscribe already? Come on, what else do you need from us? I'm basically like begging you with content. I don't know what to do.
Give him David's $5.
There you go. That's
They'll do it.
Um,
I mean,
I will kick in
there's a lot of things people do for $5.
$1.50
Sure.
if I get that $5,
That's true.
Kev. I will. You get that's
About
more
$3.50.
than it's like 40%. That's not the actual math, but it's close
I'll
enough.
give you tree fitty. That's all I'll do. Okay, let's go around the horn. So we're getting close to the end of the show here, guys. What's something that you want to see this next week, whether through practice or in the game? Again, road game, going to San Francisco. I think for the second time since we won Super Bowl 50. It's only one other time we've played in San Francisco, so that'll be cool. And yeah, kind of hear from you guys, John. What you think, man?
I can talk again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I love how he.
I
gave
am
you
not
permission.
gonna have it.
That's the first. That's
Boy.
the first time he gave you permission all episode for the
That's
record.
true.
So expect
The
fine
passive
in the email.
aggressiveness at this
No,
point
fine.
is kind of
There
getting,
will be a
it's-
fine. Yes,
It's like a holiday dinner with family.
That's mine and Kevin's relationship in a
Yeah.
nutshell.
Yeah, fair enough. In a nubbin?
Nubbin.
I'm sorry. I couldn't pretend that I didn't hear it.
No,
Thoughts?
I already said it earlier. Javonte Williams. You're right. We only. The music.
yeah, it's background music. Keep talking.
You're being played out.
Talking now. This seems like I'm at the Academy
This is your
Awards.
hurry up music. Yes. This
Yeah,
is
am I supposed to get off stage? Like,
he just
No,
just
just
started.
keep talking.
Kevin, he just started.
I know. I'm talking.
no warning. No warning. Just hey.
Bro, if you don't start walking, that big hook is going to come out from the side of the screen and grab you.
And just pull you in.
Wait, so we're not here to...
I'm
Just
sorry.
keep
I
talking.
want to thank my family.
Have you never done a voiceover before?
In the
Boy.
Academy.
I've never been walked off the stage of the Academy Awards. Okay,
Mid-season
sorry.
form.
Excited for Javonte Williams. Go.
Okay,
Jared,
here. Apparently you can't handle this. I'm sorry.
That's
You
all
can't
you're
handle
giving him?
The stress.
Javonte Williams.
No, keep talking. Just no music.
Javonte Williams. That's it.
Okay.
One series. I don't care. I want to see him do good things.
Just one good thing?
Good.
That's
I said
two good
things.
things.
I said plural.
Yes, he did.
I'll be
Yeah.
happy with one good thing. If it's another fucking 3 and out, I'll be happy with one good thing.
Javonte Williams do good thing.
That's my
That's
my
making
handle
it into,
on Twitter.
that's making it into the shorts, by the way. John's take of the week. Javonte do good thing.
John,
Javonte do good thing.
Oh, I'm making a video out of that.
Absolutely.
Anyway, if there's nothing else for you, yeah, we can pass it on to Jared.
I'm good. Jared.
Oh man. Honestly, in preseason games, I'm always just looking for those cut guys, those like guys that are on a cusp. And it's again interesting this year. It's all 50. We're gonna decide all of our 53 at the end of the preseason, so it's gonna be kind of rough. Kev, are you okay?
You know,
What happened? I feel like you guys have been making fun of me all show or something because I seem to be out of the loop of what the hell is going on.
I will say, every time we toss it to John, it just seems an abject disaster comes out. And it's amazing.
I don't care. You know, I'm very okay with being the butt of the joke. If that's the case, I don't know. I am very lost right now. I'm usually not this lost. I don't know what's going on.
There's not. That's the thing. That's why it's funny.
And that makes it even worse because there's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's nothing there. Kevin is really entertaining himself through this whole show.
Yep.
Are his pants on?
I don't
You
know.
can hear him
John.
laughing. You can hear him laughing off camera.
Oh. Thank you to everybody who stayed with us.
Did Kevin just have a senior moment? What the hell happened? Break to Kevin.
Oh,
Break to
God.
Terry.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna run this from here. I'll take the
This
fine.
is all you, man.
From who?
Yeah. So honestly, I'm just excited to see these cusp players and see where they land and see how they play. We saw some really good play out of some of these guys. Offensive line is going to be one that's going to be interesting to watch. And then also, like we never talked about on the show, but Stidham versus Danucci, like where's that quarterback battle going? Interested to see where that goes. So over to David for his hot take.
Well, I'll tell you what. I am really interested to see. And it's hard to say because you're not going to see real schemes come out in the preseason, right? Even in the second preseason game, you're going to see vanilla offenses and vanilla defenses for the most part, right?
Vanilla
But-
bean?
What? Say again. I'm sorry, John.
Vanilla bean or
Vanilla bean, old-fashioned vanilla. You haven't ever had a Tillamook old-fashioned vanilla?
You can't say I have.
Oh,
You
my
want to give
goodness.
me a quick plug?
I feel like you just made up that word.
No, it's a brand of ice cream.
It's a family recipe.
David. We'll talk about it in the on the after show. How's that, guys? On the backstage for my old-fashioned vanilla. Anyway,
Nothing wrong with a good old fashioned.
well, it's especially when you
I
put your
will take a
vanilla
good
in
old
there.
fashioned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
heard
bet
it.
you will.
And-
Dirty boy.
So back to my original point, which was that I'm really interested to see what kind of coaching matchup you get here. What kind of stuff these guys, because it's Sean Payton, it's Kyle Shanahan, Vance Joseph. I'm really interested to see what they've got to cook up against each other, if anything. Do they reveal anything about what they're going to do this season, or do they just play it as straight up as possible? And what is that? And if they do just play it straight up as possible, what does that look like? It's just going to be kind of fascinating.
We're not going to see shit for
No,
regular.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
These are two successful coaches. They're not going to give any fucking thing away.
No,
They don't give a fuck if they.
it's
They just
tempting.
want to see
Though.
their players play well.
absolutely.
It's tempting to think about though,
Mhm.
because on one hand, like I want us to the pure just fan in me wants us to go to play to win, because we need to start instilling that, now we got the loss out of the way. Now let's see what happens when we win a game, especially on the road before coming back home. You know what I mean? Like, but it makes sense. It does not make sense to do that. Like,
Sure.
It's a preseason game.
Make you happy, sure.
Not give anything away. Let's not get anyone hurt. But there are going to be plenty of people out there that are like, we have to. This must-win game for us, basically. I don't know why, but
I don't know.
Our playoff hopes are shot if we lose the second playoff.
I'm confused.
Like,
You
look,
have
Broncos country, I love you. Broncos country, I love you.
Oh boy.
But some of you were acting like we lost.
Losses in preseason. Is that what you're going for, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I don't think I've seen Broncos country get worked up over. I mean, historically, we're actually decent in preseason, so maybe it's good that we're doing terrible. Like, I don't know.
Maybe it's But some of you guys were acting like we just lost our chance to the playoffs. Like, calm down.
Kevin, it comes back to our initial reaction from that first drive. It's the same thing again, because we all have PTSD from the last 7 years of crappy offenses, and we gave them too much rope, and they took all that rope and they put it places, and here we are. And so we have a very tiny rope, and we are kind of over it, Kevin. So that's why Broncos country is reacting the way it is.
You had it.
And I get it.
You had it.
You have to
You're
remind
so
us.
close. This close.
Season, if we see it in the regular season, that rope is completely gone. I'll say that.
Where did they put it?
Where did they put it?
Places we don't talk about. We can talk about it after the show. We can talk about it.
Show me on this doll where they put it.
You were so close.
I can charade it to you, David.
You were doing so well.
Pretty clear.
You had such a good point going. And
you were killing it. You were just
and
really
then it was
doing
the
so well.
rope. Where'd it go?
It went places. It went up.
The motion.
Hey,
the
John.
motion
Hey, John. I'm going to save it here.
graphic.
Do you have any closing thoughts, good sir? We are.
I thought
we're
we
at
did
time.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know where the fuck I am right now. That's my closing thoughts. No. Closing thoughts? It's preseason. Let's all have a good time. Week 1's in a few weeks. Let's wait until then, until we have like some actual like judgments against this team. I was not impressed with week 1, but I have more thoughts, but I'm gonna stop there.
No, I have to agree with John. I want to see him. Yes, your voice can go high.
Yeah. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
Who put a question mark on the teleprompter?
Anyway, final thoughts. I think that John is completely right. We've just got to see the team build on a performance last week that, you saw it go from bad to good, but it started bad. And this week, I would like to see them continue on the good foot that they ended on rather than the bad foot that they started on last week. Jared, over to you.
Yeah, I want to see the first team actually do something in the first drive that's not a 3-and-out, because I can't believe how immediately distracted I was by that. Like, I was just immediately the first 3-and-out. I'm like, oh, really? Old time. And again, it's one drive of the entire game, and I'm just already tuned out and mad about.
I have a bottle of Everclear that I just took out of the lock cabinet and took after that first drive.
Game on.
Yeah, John's
Game
still
on.
drunk
All right,
from
we go.
Friday.
That
Yeah.
explains actually several things. Okay. Now some things are making sense. All right, Kevin, over to
Here
you.
we are.
Hey, you guys are awesome. Thanks for the laughs. I've missed you guys. To all the fans who are watching, missed you guys, the comments. Obviously, a lot of work for the team to do. We'll see what these guys put on the field this next week. Hopefully some improvement like you guys are talking about. Well, I'm personally excited to see what some of these wide receivers can do. I want to, see the good continue on the offensive side of the ball. Make some awesome catches, get some chemistry going between Russ and the wide receivers there, right? So that's where, my concern is, other than the offensive line. But and we're back. So you guys can deal with us every Tuesday and Monday and Sunday.
Every day of the week.
Other days. Because why not?
Because
we're on YouTube and we put out daily content. So any day that ends in a day is us It's us. We're live. We're there.
And we'll be here,
Appreciate you
guys.
guys.
Yep. We love you. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys find us on YouTube, the Orange Weekly Broadcast Network. We will be there. You will be there. John is definitely going to be there.
John will be there,
John's
whether he
gonna be
knows it
there.
or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
There right now.
Yeah, he's there.
Yes.
We're there. And
I don't know where you're gonna find me.
he's creeping around your back stair. Anyway, have a great night, Broncos country. We've got the 49ers coming up this Saturday, and we will see you next Tuesday for another episode of the
That is the name of the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Blah, 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 blah. My name is Kevin Dan. We got Jared, John, and David. Nothing left to say other than
Go
Broncos.
Take care, guys.
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, if it's right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know I'm a pro.